Hello and welcome to Maverrik Live. I am your host Luke 2 and today I'm joined by Curtis Cheer.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
I love your name because it's also a direction. Curtis Cheer. Let's do it. So today we're talking about something you, I wouldn't say you excel at. It's the follow-up message. So to get a follow-up message, first of all, you need to send an initial message. This is probably, we're talking more of a social selling, LinkedIn kind of message right now. So maybe not, it's not email marketing. As you know, we're social sellers here at Maverrik, so it's all going to be about social selling. This is creating the perfect follow-up message, predominantly on LinkedIn, you say. So when do you feel is the best time to send a follow-up message?
So it all depends on like what you're sending it after, whether it's after a connection request, or if it's just a follow-up message because you've told that person you're going to follow up with them in a week's time. So I've always said, like previous to our chats, what makes a great salesperson is organisation a lot of the time. So, I mean, I've been in roles where I've had salespeople ring me up and they go, I'll follow you up in a week or I'll follow you up in 2 weeks, but you never hear from them. So there's tons of salespeople that will forget to follow up that process. So for one, if you're going to tell someone that you're going to follow up with them, whether it's a week, a couple of days later, tomorrow, make sure you put that in your diary, because there'll be a lot of people that will want to be followed up, and you may have missed an opportunity there. So there's that, or there's just following up from a normal message, or if they've congratulated you. So it's almost going, when it comes to social selling, as we previously said, it always takes between 2 to 3 reciprocal interactions before you can talk shop with anyone. So any follow-up message needs to go by those guidelines and go, how can I have another conversation with this person to build the relationship? A follow-up message won't be successful if it's just a cold message to begin with. So if it's just like a pitch, a connecting pitch straight away, your follow-up message will never hold any weight behind it, because you haven't engaged that person, you haven't warmed up the message in the first place. So the right follow-up message is never a follow-up message after a cold open, in a sense. So there's no perfect template, because it doesn't all follow one line. So like the follow message can be like we said, just through a conversation from their post, or it could be a conversation following the connection request. But when we try and train social selling, it's not from a sales pitch or a connecting pitch, and then we'll have like a follow up saying, "Oh, did you see my previous message?
Did you get this? Did you see this?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, we did see it, but because you don't know anything about this person and they don't know anything about you, they haven't responded." So that tactic's still playing a numbers game, which is what we not call social selling. Whereas a lot of people go, "I'm social selling because I've sent 100 messages out, so I'm social selling." But where's the social part of it? I send out 200 messages a day and I forget to follow up on any of them, and I can't keep up with the amount of people writing back saying, "Who are you?" Precisely. So your tone of voice for these follow-up messages. So let's go through a little journey now. You've liked, you've commented on their posts, you've connected with them, had a few conversations. Then you've sent something of value, like a proposal of oh, hey, we've got this new product coming out soon. Would you be happy to jump into a chat just to, talk about it? Maybe a week passes. So now you're giving up a little follow-up message here. So let's go through a little structure of that. How would you first approach that new message to them? So throughout the whole strategy, you'll be very conversational, because we found when it comes to social selling, when you humanize things, you always get better engagement and you always get a better response. So you have to follow that all the way. Do you mean you can't go be very conversational from the start, creating those conversations, then have a call and be very joking conversation, and then all of a sudden go, "Dear sir, I'm writing for you because of this, and I want looking to see you following up." You completely break that, whole like thing you put in place, in a sense. So like, don't break the norm of what you've shown that person, like who you are. So it's still very conversational for us. It's more about asking if they've got any questions or if they need me to go through anything else. But it's just having that follow-up process. So I've found from all of the times I've done sales, there'll be some people that are great at getting back to you. So even if you have a follow-up message, but there'll be some people that will just either ignore you and almost get back to you when they're ready. So it's just keeping the structure to go, I'm going to have a follow-up process, no matter who that person I'm speaking to, whether they're going to be a good responder or a bad responder. So I'll have that follow-up process, but I'm going to stick to how I'm doing it previously. So keeping the same humanized conversational, almost like WhatsApp chats. The tone of voice is really important, because it's hard to instill. You still want to come across as a business type person, as you know what you're talking about and you can help them, but you also don't want to be too, like you can say, you don't want to be too jokey, but you also don't want to be too stiff. You don't want to be like you said, "Dear sir or madam, I am here to help you with this problem." And it just, you don't create that nice flow of a conversation. And I think that's what people struggle with a lot of the time, is
defining that middle ground.
Yeah, precisely, because when a lot of people pick you, it's not based on price or service a lot of time. It's actually depend on that person that they've been speaking to. So at the end of the day, if they bought into you, that's really going to be the big influence there. So if you change the way you speak to them, or if you change the way you follow up with them, it's going to give that person mixed messages, and it's almost like, oh, that's not the person that I spoke to previously.
Yeah.
So it's having that consistently, but it's not just a follow-up message you rely on. So when we talk about social selling, it's all about remaining top of mind. So alongside of the follow-up message, it's key to actually go, now back to LinkedIn, how do I keep this guy or keep this client or having me top of mind for that client? So it's doing the 7 steps. It's still interacting with his engagement, with his content.
So it's being a part of his life in a sense where you're commenting, you're liking, you're engaging, you know, the stuff that they care about, you know, you're talking about and you care about at the same time. It's having that whole existence where like you just become so associated with each other on LinkedIn that when you have a conversation which maybe is about business, it holds more weight to it.
Yeah.
And then even if they don't actually want to purchase anything from you, they still are open for a conversation about it, why they might not be interested yet, but they might be in the future. It's not a blanket no, it's not a stone wall you're getting there. You're developing a relationship.
Yeah, definitely, because I think even Dean posted the post today saying about it's all about consistency, because in such a quick, ever-changing world, you can be the top of mind today, but tomorrow you could be forgotten. So like you could be the best service in the world by next week, because they've seen so many other different services, because they've seen so much different advertisement. You can be like literally the last thing on their mind. So it's keeping that relationship going by going, how can I appear top of mind to him and keep growing this relationship? So doing the follow-up message when you say, and also doing your 7 steps process, which is still key for the engagement and the interaction.
Yeah, if you think of it like, you know, a movie from a director you really like, you watch the first movie, that's good. You watch another movie, that's good. When they keep putting out stuff that you enjoy and you like, then next thing they put something out, they're all over it, because it's like, oh, it's this person that I trust, I like them, I value what they say and what they do, and I'm going to buy straight into it.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like we live in a world where the more you see of something, the more you start to trust that thing.
Yeah.
Do you mean whether it's
when something becomes familiar, it's nice, and then you can also, take it a step further and get a little bit deeper. Because I think that's the problem with social selling in a sense, where people try and do a blanket outright message campaign, and then their follow-up messages are, why haven't you got back to me? And the answer is simple, is because you haven't put the right foundation down for them to actually talk back to you.
Yeah, definitely. So they're literally just playing a numbers game, and like when it comes to follow-up, people live such busy lives. Like you could have been that 10th person they spoke to me, that 10th proposal.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you make yourself memorable and like more memorable than the people that you're competing against? And it's that foundation stuff that we're talking about that's key to making sure the follow-up message will work.
And is never ignored.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Curtis, for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching Maverrik Live. If you want any more tips, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn as well, where we're predominantly on there. You can see a lot of our articles, a lot of things we post, a lot of helpful tools to help you sell and social sell online. Thanks again for coming down, Curtis.
Yep, thanks for having me.
And we will see you next time for Maverrik Live.